Once I got into college, even I was already very depressed by then. I came into a situation which was below my worst case situation. One day I just got up from my bed, I had not worn shirt, looked at myself in the mirror, I could see my ribs and all. You make big changes in your life only when you've seen the shittiest phase of your life. Most people, they have been climbing a mountain their entire life. Maybe they're halfway up and then they realize that, okay, this is not what they wanted to do. But very few people are willing to go down that same mountain and climb another mountain from start. What happened with me was I was just thrown off that mountain and I reached the bottom.
Today we have the biggest finance creator of the country, Finance with Sharan. In this episode, we talk about Sharan's relationship with money and what creators to do to not only survive but also thrive in this industry. A clear-cut case of if he can do it, so can you. To subscribe the channel and enjoy the podcast. Lot of people know Finance with Sharan aaj ka. So what was Sharan, not Finance with Sharan, Sharan in general before college, even before college, during school life?
I think ever since I was a young boy, I was trying to be, my dream was to become the richest man in the world. At around that time, Beyblades started becoming really popular, and I was taken to this store in Mangalore called Baby Town. Okay. Sounds cooler than it is. Yeah. I mean, it is cooler than how it sounds. So there they had Beyblades. And then I was seeing all these Beyblades, everything worth $300. And I could not purchase anything more than $100. That was the kind of upper limit I had. And I wanted all those Beyblades which were displayed in front of me. And each of them cost $300.
Blazer and all that.
Right. Yeah. And that is when I realized how important money is. And obviously, that is not the full story of money. But as a young kid, that is when I got that light bulb moment. Okay, more money equals to more happiness. That is when that connection happened. And then my mom was like, as parents, when there is something expensive, what do they tell? You grow up, make a lot of money and then buy it. And that connected. Then I was like, okay, how do you make a lot of money? And parents will give you just one answer. They won't tell start a business, do all of this. They'll just be like, focus on your studies, be the topper in your class, you will get good marks, you get good job, you'll get good money. So that was set in my mind, like an inception seed was planted at that moment
Written
of time.
in stones.
Yes. And then I started getting my act together. I was like one of the toppers of my 10th standard. So full ego. Then I'm like, okay, let's focus on NITs. That was like the last resort for me.
Correct.
NITK or nothing. It's like, then if you don't get NITK, which is like a dream college for my parents, NITK is in Karnataka only, near my city, in Mangalore. If I get there, it's like life is sorted. If I don't get there, I am a useless piece of shit. I'll never amount to anything in life. So that was the mindset I had towards the end. I was very confident of getting in there. I got into a branch which I was not hoping to get into. So I applied, I got it. I got chemical engineering. In hindsight, I should have taken it. But the problem is, Indian parents are, they only look at, at least my parents, they only looked at electronics and mechanical engineering as
computer
the top.
Science
No, not even computer science. They did not realize the importance of computer science back then. They should have. Because I got into computer science in a lower tier college and I wanted to go there. But they said, you know what, it's electronics and mechanical is the place where you make most money. How wrong were they on the second one? But electronics I did not get because that is the most sought after branch. Like only the top 50 rank wala people get into those colleges, into those branches in the top college. Yeah. So NITK did not happen, obviously. Then I got into RV college, which is like the top private college where I eventually studied. Right. There I got mechanical engineering. But at a second ranked college called PES in Karnataka, I got computer science. But my parents didn't allow me to go there because they said it's better you go for the top ranked college and mechanical is evergreen. They were probably just thinking about how they look in front of their friends, right? My son goes to RV college. RV college is a well-known. PES maybe not as well-known as RV college. So they were like, okay, mechanical engineering, RV college. They were just thinking about their story. Yeah. I blindly followed that. Yeah. So, and that fucked me over. Even once I got into college, even I was already very depressed by then. That I came into a situation which was below my worst case situation. And then my only saving grace was clubs. And I think that is the great thing about colleges, right? Yeah. Then you realize that marks is not the only thing. Then you realize that to get ahead in life, it's not marks. Yeah. It's these other things about learning how to talk to people, learning how to work in teams, And I think that realization most Indians get very late.
Very late. I agree.
And I think that realization should happen much earlier.
Yeah.
Life would be much easier, and then we'll have much more diverse career paths if that realization comes to us a lot earlier. That is why engineering is a feeder path to everything else in India. Let us work out. So then I cut off all the junk, and then I was like, let me become the best version of my fitness as possible. Started learning how to make green smoothies,
Wow.
right? Bought a mixer, started making those. Like I was putting broccoli, spinach, making it like uncooked, putting it and making it water and drinking glasses and glasses of it every day. Started learning how to cook, right? Getting my own food to home. I used to get 5,000 rupees pocket money back then, so I could not order a lot.
Yeah.
I used to order pizza because that is the cheapest thing. So I stopped that. I started cooking my own food. Started taking home. I used to get up early in the morning at 5 in the morning, go to the gym, work out for 1 hour, come back, make green smoothie, cook breakfast, eat it, make lunch, pack it, and go to college at 9 o'clock in the morning. So all of that I used to do. I used to not eat from the canteen and all of that. I was 19, 20 by then, 20 years old. Okay. I used not eat. I stopped eating from the college canteen. So I was doing this for almost a year. And that is when I eventually gained 10 kilos. And I was much more built than how I look right now. I had big shoulders and all of that. And then people started noticing it. And then that was like a sort of long lost validation for me, right?
Yeah.
Until 12, that validation was coming through marks. That was lost. For 2 years, nothing was coming in terms of validation. So then this fitness started becoming my validation by the end of second year.
Why and how did that sudden shift happen? Because that doesn't usually happen with people कि अचानक से आप उठ रहे हो और आप देख रहे हो मेरी body ऐसी है.
No, I think that exactly was needed. Because if that did not happen, I don't think I would have made that shift. You make big changes in your life only when you've seen the shittiest phase of your life, right? If let's say I was in PES and I was having all this partying, going out with girls, drinking and all of that, and going to the best clubs of Bangalore.
You wouldn't do this.
If I was living that sort of life, why would I, even want
Bother
another
to
escape?
Yeah.
Why would I want to be super serious about my fitness or gym? Why would I want to be super serious about my career and think about, okay, what is the, highest paying job and work on it full-fledgedly?
Right.
Because there are already these sources of contentment that I'm getting from life. Why do I need all of these other things? The reason I went into fitness is because I thought, okay, this could fill that gap in my life or hole in my life to give me that contentment. So I think that was necessary, right? I think everybody who has a success story would have that sort of a phase where everything was shit, and then they were in the rock bottom, and they had to find something to pick them up from that rock bottom, and they would have never taken that path if they were not in that rock bottom, right? I think this reminds me of the Naval Ravikant's saying that most people they have been climbing a mountain their entire life. Maybe they're halfway up, and then they realize that okay, this is not what they wanted to do. But very few people are willing to go down that same mountain and climb another mountain from start, right?
Yeah.
Very few people. They'll rather want to be in that halfway part of the mountain which they already climbed for fear that okay, if they start from the bottom again, they'll not be able to start again.
True.
But I think because what happened with me was I was just thrown off that mountain, right? I was not like I willingly came down. I was just thrown off that mountain and I reached the bottom. So then I had to climb another mountain to kind of get back. So I think that's what happened. And most people will never get that opportunity because they're not thrown down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Like that is another thing. Most people are so caught up with their everyday day-to-day life that they don't have time to do that, introspection. Because there was nothing happening in my life, all I was doing was introspection. I'll just sit in my room and just sit on a bean bag and just introspect about life. So those 2 years I was only introspecting. Most people don't do that.
Yeah,
so I think that is important.
Makes sense. Right.
These days now I don't get too much time to introspect. That's why they say meditation is important. Because you get to clear your thoughts and introspect about life. But that doesn't happen these days because they're so caught up.
True. Yeah, even I consider myself a very aware person, but these days I'm like just working, getting up, working, sleeping. तो पता ही नहीं लग रहा है क्या introspect करूँ.
Because there's already a lot of tasks kept in front of you.
Yeah.
And you know that by doing those tasks, you will get that contentment. Correct. Right? But you're not taking a step back and introspecting about, okay, this is my life right now. Is there something else that I need to do from a zoomed out level? That is not happening. For most people, after they hit 24, 25, that doesn't happen.
True. Because then life is happening to you. You're not happening to life.
Right.
But let's go to now the relationship of money that you have, relationship with money that you have, and how your dad's business has impacted that. How long were your dad's business going on? When did it shut down? What impact did it had in your family and you, especially from a money perspective? Because you already knew that you want money, right? Even before the business was shut. People don't know that the business was shut. So how did that impact? Oh, importance of money improve ho gaya? You had a heated kind of relationship. What happened?
No, my dad had multiple sources of income.
Nice.
And I thought that hotel business was the main business.
Oh.
But it was not. He did not tell me
So
about
your dad is the OG finance.
Yeah, he did not tell me about his other things, right? He was making money through finance. He was making money through real estate. He did not tell me about all those things. Because he was known also for the restaurant business. If anybody is talking about my dad Balakrishna, it's about, okay, the owner of Lalit Bar and Restaurant. Nobody would call him as the real estate guy or the finance guy. So, but more importantly, as a little kid, my dad used to take me to the restaurant almost every day. And I used to love sitting at the cashier counter. Like back then, there was no debit card, credit card. This was when? Around 15 years back. Not 50, more than 15, around 20 years back.
Okay.
There were no,
like
very
7,
few people used to pay with debit card or credit card was not there only, forget. And people used to pay in cash. And I used to love looking at the bill, collecting the cash, returning the change, and keeping it back in that big drawer where all the money is kept. And for a little kid who usually gets, for whom even a 10 rupee note is a big deal, because with 10 rupee note, you will get, like 3-4 chocolates, 1 samosa, and an egg puff, which is like the whole world to a kid.
Yeah.
Right? Seeing a drawer full of 100 rupee, 500 rupee notes all kept in front of you was like, I felt like that Donald Duck moment where he jumps into that gold coin vault that he has, right? I felt like that. So I think that was a great experience for me, which I'll never forget as a little kid, where I was kept in charge. I mean, obviously there was a guy behind me also ensuring that I'm doing properly. That guy was having a blast. It was his job to count and keep the money. I was doing it, and he was just ensuring that I'm doing it properly. So that was like a good experience for me to show that, okay, like putting me in the presence of money, I think that kind of internalized in me, and that was another seed which was planted in me as a young kid to make me focus on money as an important goal in life. I mean, these days people say that money is not everything, but it is not everything only until after you reach a certain goal, right? I mean, that's very cliche, but that was implanted in me, and I'm so glad that it did, because otherwise most people, they give up on the race to money because they feel like it's too hard and they think that, okay, let me focus on other things in life.
Right.
But I think it's very important to focus on the money first, because that sort of gives you the sort of freedom which no other sort of milestone will give you. And I have that freedom now. Right? So that happened. Apart from that, my dad, I would say, is very, very secretive. Yeah. He doesn't tell me a lot of things. I think like most Indian parents. Even now he tells me everything about what he's doing, because now I'm managing his money, so he'll tell me everything. I'm still yet to, like, he kept calling me for the past 1 week. He's like, I have this money, my FD is expiring, tell me how to invest, where to invest, let's get on a call. I'm like, kal karenge. Like that. So that's there right now. But before, not like that. And now he wishes that he would have maybe, my dad is 40 years older to me. He wishes that maybe he would have had me earlier on, so that I would have been in a situation to manage his money long back. Yeah, long back, right? So that did not happen, so he wishes that. But my parents also taught me how to save money. They used to encourage, they bought me this money belt, and they told me that, this is for you to save your money. Most people, when they get money from their parents, they would spend it immediately, right? But I like to see the money grow. Why did I like to see the money grow? Back to my experience of sitting in a cashier counter. Because I like to see the big stacks of money rather than spending it, right? So I was collecting that money in that money belt. And that exercise or practice became such a profound impact on my passion to learn about money, because I started doing that from the age of 8 or 9. By the time I was 19, 10 years of saving money, I had eventually saved up close to 50,000 rupees in pocket money. 50,000 rupees in cash, which included my grandmother's gifts as well, whenever I used to go visit her or for my birthdays.
So it is instinct to save money then.
Yeah, so 50,000 rupees. And so that was my first big learning about money. Save money, right? But then once I hit 18 or 19, that is when I thought, okay, now let's invest this money. But if I had not had that 50,000 rupees, why would I even learn about investing money? Most people learn about investing money once they start making money, which is at the age of 22, 23, when they get a job. By then it's too late for most people, because then they are again involved into the job, right? Then they're just thinking about what to do in the job.
True.
They're not learning about how to manage this money.
True.
So luckily for me, because I had that money at the age of 19, I started learning about how to invest that money. And those 3 years or 4 years, which I learned leading up to my first job, was the game changer for me.
That started learning finance between 19 to 22.
Yeah. That was a game changer for me. Because I had that 3 years head start compared to everybody else. People think that, I know everything about finance. But no, I just had a 3-year head start. And all I did was learn about from other content creators, right? Watching other YouTube videos, then eventually reading articles and reading books. But because I had that 3-year head start, not because I'm this guy who's a CA or a CFA. None of that. I'm a mechanical engineer.
Now let's go to the two things. One is the entertainment aspect of your content creation.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like, it's hard to believe that it's not natural to you. Now, like as you mentioned, like सबको लगता है पहले से कर रहे हो. But उसका भी कुछ तो होगा, like going back to the memory lane. How do you, the entertainment aspect? Because you're an entertainer, you like entertaining people.
Right.
You'll go to some cafe, and when somebody recognizes you, sends you a cake.
Yeah.
There's a pride and there's a happiness in your face, इसको मैंने impact किया है तब मेरे को मिल रहा है, that there's a happiness there.
Right.
So this might be the trigger back to the school days where you used to be happy when you topped the school or you're getting that attention. Is this the same trigger happening?
No, I'll tell you. I think what I think is it is my the kind of friends that I had. Not in school.
Yeah.
Not in college. Not in college. Not in engineering. So these are my closest friends, right? Shreyank and Aprup. Right. So these are the guys that my very close friends in college also, and then I lived with them while working in KPMG. So we were like that proper sitcom wala setup kind of a life.
Okay.
Right. Think Big Bang Theory life, but Big Bang Theory and Friends mix up. Okay. Right. All of us had a girlfriend, right? And we were 3 of us living together in a 3 BHK house in Koramangala.
Yeah.
So then life was good. I got into KPMG management consulting.
You're 23, 24 right now.
Huh?
You're 23 right now.
Yeah, 23. Life was good. I got into management consulting. I was preparing for GMAT, and my dream was to go into a US MBA college. So that path was going nicely. Then I got a girlfriend, first girlfriend of my life.
Yeah.
All of them also had a girlfriend. We used to all go out together, partying, dancing. Triple date, right? So that was the kind of life I had.
As proper friends.
Huh?
As proper friends.
Proper, like the kind of ideal life we, as every 15-year-old, 10-year-old, or 15-year-old Indian boy dreams of, right? I need to have a girlfriend. I need to have friends who are there with me, and we all go out clubbing, dancing, drinking, coming back. So that's the kind of life I had. It was good life.
Yeah.
So in that lifestyle, the kind of jokes we used to crack, the kind of way we used to talk. So I think all of that has a very big influence on the content that I make today. Some of the skits that I'm playing today, some of them are actual incidents which happened in my life. Obviously, it'll be a dramatized version, little bit more comedic angle. For example, a recent reel in which I said there is a police catches. I'm playing both the versions, me and the police. The police catches a kid smoking up in the jungle, and I was like. The guy says, I'm doing charas. And then that guy's like, charas legal hai na? Then the police is like, charas legal hai kya? Like about to slap. This is actually a real incident which happened not with charas, but with hookah. And this police guy was trying to, get money out of us.
Yeah.
So we had gone out for our first trip. This was actually in college, not during working.
Okay.
We had all gone out to Nandi Hills, which is like a famous hill station in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So we all went out, like our first trip and first year engineering students.
Right.
We took hookah in the car and that's it, hookah and cigarettes. And we thought we'll go there and have a great time. Midway, we were in 2 different cars. So we were waiting for the other car to come because of some confusion. And we had parked at the side of the car, all doors open, lights on, loud music. And then 2 cheetahs come in, the police wala cheetahs bikes. They come over there and they park. Then I'm in the front seat. Then they come. Then one of my friend is like, pack the hookah and keep it. We're all scared. I mean, we didn't know hookah also is fine, but we were like all scared. No, pack the hookah and keep. The police come. He's like, everybody get out of the car, and then he starts searching the entire car, and he finds his hookah and he makes that action. Like that he does, right? Just to make us feel like we have done something illegal.
Yeah.
Then we're all standing in a line over there. Then he's like, where are you guys from? Where are you guys going? All of that he said. Then he's like, for this, I'll have to take you to the station. Like that he says. One of my friends says, Anna, adu hookah alva. Like, that's hookah, right? Hookah legal alva. Hookah is legal, right?
Yeah.
Then the police guy gets pissed. He's like, hookah legal, like that. He's about to slap him. And this guy is like a 6'2" feet kind of a guy.
Hookah legal.
Like hookah legal, like that. Like that, he started threatening him. And everybody is like, there are 10 boys all standing.
Yeah.
And then one guy, he starts almost crying. He's like, sorry, we will pay you. Then he's like, no, you call your parents. Call them up right now. Like that. We got more scared, right? It's not now about whether we did wrong or not. We did wrong according to our parents also, right? Forget the Indian law. According to the parents' law, we are in the wrong, right? So we are shit scared.
Yeah.
Then we don't want to call our parents, obviously. Then he's like, 15,000 rupees.
Oof.
Then there's one rich kid in that group. He immediately starts taking out his wallet. we all have to split it at the end. So one smart guy, he's like, hey, stop. I'll negotiate. Then finally the negotiation happened, and then finally we paid him 3,000 rupees and we left. So these sort of incidents happen in life, right? So these sort of things do not happen frequently. This is like one-off incident.
Yeah.
But even regular events, like you're just sitting at home, you're talking about some startup idea, you joke about with each other, you joke about the past, you go through a nostalgic moment just with friends.
Right.
So all of those things are now translating into my script writing process.
And knowing you, I know that you love giving back, right? Like, I think you don't like holding things up. You're like there's a natural, if you were a thing, you would not be a closed person. You would ideally be open stuff, and things are coming in and it's going out. Things coming in, it's going out.
Right.
Like a lot of people are, it's coming in, it never go out. Just be there.
Right.
So you are one of those people who love giving back. There's an emotion attached. You take pride in giving back as well.
Right.
So where does that come from? What is the trigger for that? And I know you don't say like negatively for even the people, they hate you. Like even if you don't like them, you would see them for the merit of it and not for, what they have told about you. So where is that coming from? Like this practicality, ethics, and all that.
I think it's also about, the people who are, that second thing that you said, people who may not be fond of me, but I still look up to them. That is because I think I have lived a certain transformation in the last, I've gone through a certain transformation in the last 2 years. So I'm able to put myself in their shoes and think, okay, it is very plausible for them to be like this because if I have gone through so much in life, they would have gone through much more in life because we are all on the same journey. So I don't know how much more of the journey they have gone beyond me, right? So it's okay for them to be like that, right? I'm not saying it's okay, but I can understand where they are coming from. So it is okay, right? So I don't know how to give examples, but that is the situation. Coming to about giving to others, that I think is just my philosophy of life here. I don't want to seem like a person who is like, I don't want to come across as, nobody likes to come across as an egotistic person. And my entire life, I've been coming across as an egotistic person, like I said, because I've always thought I'm full of myself and I'm the best, I'm better than everybody. So I've gone through that journey of life and I realized that is not the way to live because I used to think that, okay, that is cool. Showing everybody else that you're the best and better than everybody else, I thought that is the cool way to live and that's when you get respect. That is not when you get respect. You get respect, okay, when everybody knows that, okay, you've done so much in life, but you're still able to ground yourself, right? And still be able to see from their lens and their perspective. That has helped me both in terms of content creation, because even though I know much more in finance than the common man, I'm not going to use complicated terms and fancy lingo to kind of just impress somebody else. I'm able to bring myself down to the base level of the layman and then explain it within their language. So that has helped me in there as well, in the content creation game as well. And in terms of the giving game, I realized, there's no point in showing off or being egotistical. I always try to act like, I'm a nobody, right? Whoever I meet, I will always, act like, okay, I'll kind of try to convince myself that I've not achieved any of these things. Let us dial back to the version that I was 2 years back, and I'm meeting this person. I think even Virat Kohli also, in the beginning, he was this cocky kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And now he has, I think through PR and all of that,
through
now
life.
he's being portrayed as, he's trying to live a person who's very humble and down to earth. And now we love and respect him, right?
Yeah.
So that is the best way to live life.
Yeah. I remember in one of his interviews, he said that I was 25 and people expected me to behave like a 30-year-old mature guy. And this is when he was like 28.
Right.
Then the transition happened from that, immature, aggressive person to still aggressive, but calm, aggressive, matureness of sorts. So you're saying that you're there as well.
I'm not there yet. I'm trying to be there every day. And sometimes you make mistakes. But that is okay, because you learn from it and then you try to change your composure the next time you meet someone or the same person. Because sometimes you spoil the relationship by being cocky, right? So that's okay, because that doesn't need to dictate how you are with other people as well. You need to change.
Right.
And I think I've changed a lot in terms of my EQ as well over the last 2 years, and that's like a very underrated skill. Everybody only thinks about IQ.
True.
I think my EQ also has gone a phenomenal shift in the last 2 years in terms of understanding the other person's point of view, and I think you are very good at it, understanding the other person's point of view, and I think surrounding myself with people like you has helped me a lot that way.
Got it. So you say these are all qualities of very highly empathetic person, and you didn't have any of this while growing up? Was it like your mom empathetic, your dad?
No, this was never the priority, right? Being empathetic to people was not something that was taught. It was all about being the biggest, baddest person in any field of life. And when you're only focusing on that, you're only going to focus on the IQ aspect of it. So if you only focus on IQ with EQ being nothing, that's when you become cocky. You need to also grow EQ parallelly, and that's when the cockiness is kind of subdued, I would say.
Got it. So there is a downside to it. Like, we've spoken about people who have achieved a lot and they have, they have a high attitude. And, that's their way of like putting a shield, right? Ki, I can't let you enter my territory, which is fine.
Yeah.
But because you don't have this shield, or you're trying to build that shield now slowly, steadily, a lot of people have taken, just advantage and they've just gone away.
Yeah.
They just, you're like, chalo, just roll over him of sorts. That has happened.
I don't know that properly, and you see it when you see it from the outside, you are able to see it properly.
Yeah.
But I see the good intention of everybody and welcome. So that is the one more thing which I want to tell. That the biggest change that you see when you become successful and popular is that everybody is nice to you.
Yeah.
And when everybody is nice to you, you don't know everybody's true intentions.
Yeah.
Right? So you welcome everybody with open heart. Yeah. And you are able to see that as an outsider. Yeah. Sharan, ye kya kar rahe? Right? So that's what happening. Yeah. Realize that. See, WhatsApp messages, I get hundreds of WhatsApp messages per day. Yeah. Earlier I used to get 2-3 before I became finance with Sharan, mostly from my mom, right? And I used to respond to everybody, right? And then it was mostly from my girlfriend, next stage of life. So I used to respond to all of those messages. So I think that mindset I've applied now as well. Yeah. So I'm trying to respond to everybody.
Prioritize.
Yeah. So, but I think now I'm starting to prioritize, and now I'm comfortable with not responding to messages as well. And when I meet them in public, in real life, I will tell them, if it's important, you have to call me. Because if I just respond to everybody and prioritize everyone, I will not be able to give the importance to the person who truly matter. Yeah. And it's just going to be a waste of everybody's time, because then it'll be like very, very shallow messages. Haan, theek hai, okay, sure, that messages will come out. Right? You also do that. Right? I don't want to do that. I want to prioritize a few people and respond to them properly.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Rightly mentioned. How has money, like now you've made so much money, how has it changed?
So much money.
Okay. You've reached a fire number.
Yeah.
So how does that feel like? Do you think, so because 99% of the people, once they achieve certain amount of money, like their fire number, let's say, their fire number will increase.
Right.
Let's say it's 5 crores, they'll be like 10 crores. 10
Right.
crores, 15 crores. What is it for you? Is it going to increase, do you think, or how does it change?
No, I think if it increases, it's not going to be with the same importance that the first number was achieved. The first number was the make it or break it number. Like if I don't achieve that number, it's like I would say for reaching that first number, you will go full ignition on, right? You will take it very, very seriously. Now the second number, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's okay, right? So it's like I don't have to prioritize it so much. Now I'm in a position where see, earlier, when there is an opportunity given to me, whether I should take this opportunity which is paying me a lot of money, or should I go on this vacation, it's always going to be the first thing. Screw vacation, screw going and meeting parents, screw meeting friends. This is more important because this is money. Now, once you have reached this fire number, for the first time in my life, I'm able to say no to money. I'm able to say no to opportunities which are paying me money and prioritize my other parts of my life, my relationship, my meeting my parents, talking to my friends. So all of that has taken priority. So I think that's a beautiful place to be in, and most people will never maybe reach that life stage because they're not focusing on reaching that. They focus on the material wealth first over reaching financial freedom.
For sure. Right. So now let's talk about your freedom app and the community and the course and all that.
It's now changed to the 1% club.
Got it. So basically building the top 1% for finance community.
Right. Something which Cred had started doing it, but they went the credit card route. But I wanted to encompass everything, right from investing, taxation, insurance, financial planning, everything. All of that should be included in this club. So that's the approach that I went with, and it is more from a community angle where there is an interaction, social interaction, and peer-to-peer social interaction also happening, where people can post stuff, people can ask questions and get their answers quickly. That sort of a community does not exist until now. And if until now, when somebody wanted to learn something about finance, they'll just Google it, and when they Google it, they'll find some complicated article, which is either written by banks or by a fintech company. Now they might not have your best interest in heart because they are writing those stuff so that they convert you into their customer, right? Obviously, why will they put out free content out there? So this is like an unbiased platform where other people are helping each other. So these are all finance nerds all together in one place. So if somebody is asking a question, you will get an answer from somebody who has gone through that same problem before in his or her life. So that sort of a platform did not exist before. I mean, sure, there's Reddit and stuff, but again, Reddit is not properly filtered. There might be a lot of untrue information as well. This is like properly controlled, and every
more
answer.
Of a gossip platform rather than a serious platform. Got it. And what's your vision with Freedom Community? What are you planning to do over a period of 2, 3, 4 years? Is it like a business for you? Is it like a venture?
Like I said, a business angle is there just so that it's making enough money so that I can sustain karne ke liye. Obviously, there has to be profit as well, right? To keep it fun and gamified, right? I need to make money. I need to pay the vendors. I need to pay my team members. So all that is definitely there. But beyond that, because I've already achieved the financial freedom number, beyond that, the main goal is to kind of create this platform where people can easily get the answers to their biggest financial problems. Because like I said, the biggest joy that I get these days, I think I did not say this yet. See, earlier when you start off as a content creator, the biggest dopamine hit that you get is, 1 million views first time, and you get big dopamine hit. The likes that you see, the comments that you see, all that is dopamine hit. But eventually that sort of plateaus, and then you don't really, give it so much importance like you used to. Now what gives me the biggest kick is, let's say I've gotten 1 lakh likes on a reel. That is one, let's consider that as one dopamine hit. Now there is this singular person, let's say, who is meeting me in public real life and telling me, Sharan, I went through your course, I did all of these things, and now I can truly say that my finances are sorted. Thank you so much. Or getting an email from a person, a 500-word email from a person, writing in full depth of what financial situation they were in, and after implementing all of these things, they've done all of this. That dopamine hit is through the roof, right? So that's what I'm focusing on right now. So this community is a way of enabling more and more of those sort of dopamine hits for me, right? Helping more people so that I can see real life stories being changed, and then that makes me more satisfied and content with what I am doing in life. Because at the end of the day, even if you have all the money in the world, you can't just sit at home and watch Netflix all day, because you'll eventually feel like, okay, there is no purpose in life. And that you hear these stories about rich and famous people who have committed suicide. Then you ask yourself, why would this guy do? He has all the money in the world. He has all the fame in the world. He can get anything he wants. Why would they still commit suicide? I think one of the reasons could be that they lose that purpose in life. Like, what are they doing in life? And that could be one of the reasons. I'm not sure. Right? So I think any person, no matter, we in the beginning in our life of our journey of life, we feel like, okay, money and fame is what we need.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think the true meaning that you get in life is when you feel like you're adding value in whatever you're doing in life, right? If you genuinely feel that you get the satisfaction of adding value, tangible value to someone, that is when you get the true satisfaction. And for me, a way of doing that is by building this one-person club community where I genuinely have known that so many thousands of people have gone through this journey and have upped their financial journey game. Now I know that it doesn't stop there. I know that they will in turn spread the knowledge among their members, right? Among their community, among their friends and family. I cannot measure it, but I know it will happen at a much better level. Action these days.
Got it. Coming back to the Linkin Park Avicii, people killing themselves over this discussion. Mental health and all that, it's not a new news in content economy space. I was speaking to 2-3 creators just yesterday and day before yesterday. And they were telling me how the last 2-3 months have not been good for them mentally. And the common problem they had was that, the brand and the environment and the macros are not in the favor. Views are randomly going up and down. More competition come in. So it's like हर जगह से उन पे अटैक हो रहा है ना कंपटीशन मतलब और रीडर्स आ रहे हैं उनके जैसे सो दे आर फियर ऑफ बीइंग रिप्लेस्ड और फियर ऑफ कंपटीशन रिड्यूसिंग व्यूज ठीक है द एल्गोरिथम तो है ही लेकिन यहाँ से ब्रांड के पैसे कम हो गए बिकॉज इकोनॉमी एंड ओवरऑल यूएस इकोनॉमी इज डाउन एंड brands are not spending, funding is not happening, so वो brand wise भी उनका statement चल रहा है. How do you deal with it? Does this happen to you? Self doubt, anything, gossip, listening about these things and all that.
So I would say that it's a very complicated question to answer. I'll try to answer it this way. If you had asked me this question 1 year back, I would maybe even 6 months back, I would be in this particular situation only, right? Even if there is like one video which does not perform well, I would be in such a state of distraught and sadness over the next 24 to 48 hours, trying to figure out why it did not perform well. Let me read the comment section. Let me watch the video over and over again. Maybe this is what happened. At the 3rd second I said this, 5th second this happened. I would just completely obsess about it and ruin my day. And there's a pro and con to that. Con is the mental thing. The pro is that I got better and better. Right? I was able to figure, okay, this is why it happened. So now this I can improve. But the way I was doing it was probably very, very aggressive, right? Which was affecting my mental health. Now, I would not say I'm completely healed from it. Even now, if there's a bad view, you know that. Last week only I told you something. But I was not in a state of absolute distraught, right? I'm like, okay, 2, 3, 4 hours I'll be very, very sad. But then I'm able to come back out of it. So I think I've also gone through that journey where the number of hours it takes for me to come back to normal has reduced.
Got it.
Right? So that happened. And the reason why it has happened is, number one is that financial freedom has happened. That's number one. So money problem is not going to be a big problem anymore. It's not like, okay, if everything goes to zero, what am I going to do for a living? No. I've solved for financial freedom. I've not made stupid financial decisions. I've not bought a BMW or a big house. I've made my planning in such a way that even if everything goes to shit.
You've not bought a Mercedes.
I've not bought a Mercedes even though you forced me to. Even there's a showroom right next to our house. I've not done all of that. So I've been very smart over there. So that is number one. Number two is that I sort of imagine that, okay, let's say everything goes to shit. Let's say I go down to zero. This is what even Elon Musk also said. Right. He was working in South Africa in some normal job and he was living on some few dollars a day. And then when he was living that, he realized that, okay, I am content and happy doing this. Even at my rock bottom, of Elon Musk's rock bottom, he's able to sustain life and he's not having too much complaints. So why not take risks in life and try to achieve big? Because if I fall down, I know how to live like this as well. Right? That is what he told himself, and that is why he's been able to take so many risks in life. Right? Very good point. Even I tell that to myself, okay, if everything goes to shit, fine, financial thing is sorted. But there are other plan B, plan C that I have in my mind that I know that I can do, even if everything goes to shit. I can work on things that I cannot work on right now because I'm busy with all these plan A stuff. So even if all these things goes to shit, there are plan B things that I can implement. So that's a number 2 thing that I remind myself in terms of dealing with this. And the last thing is, I think I need to, I keep reminding myself that I give too much importance to the present situation. I mean, it's important to live in the present, but a setback that you have in the present should not be given so much importance, because we incorrectly assume that, okay, this is going to be my situation forever. Like, let's say a bad video has happened. We incorrectly assume that, okay, now this is going to be my life from now on. It's always going to be bad. But you don't know what the future is, right? If you kind of shift your mindset saying that, okay, this has happened.
Yeah.
Now let me focus entirely on the new video which is going to come out. That is a much better mindset. Fine, you'll get the learnings from this and immediately shift. The faster you kind of take that learnings from here and move to the next video, your mental health will be that much better, and your chances of success also will be much higher if you're able to disassociate yourself from that as quickly as possible and work on the next one. That's the third thing. And the last thing is, I always challenge myself to be better than myself last month, right? If I don't see any improvements compared to last month, and if my videos are not performing well, I know that's my fault only, because I have not done anything to improve.
No point blaming the algorithm.
Right. And right now I've reached a state where I have almost saturated how I can be better by myself. So I've had a very strong team as well. So now I have a very impressive, very, very talented team. Editing has improved a lot, as you can see. Also, I have a very strong content research team as well. We are building very, very impressive financial calculators and tools, which something that, you know, I'm proud of my Excel knowledge, but some of my team members' Excel skills are, like, you know, way ahead of mine. So I've surrounded myself with people who are way better than me at these individual stuff. So when we all come together, we're producing something much better than I could have ever done or thought of by myself, right? So having that good team structure has again helped me to sustain myself, or to keep this machine running. Because the creativity machine is very difficult to keep running. So having this sort of strong team is something that has helped me, you know, keep that relevance and reach at peak levels. So I think it's a combination of all these things which has kind of helped me to take control of my mental health.
Right. So what would you recommend? Let's go to a example. Let's say a creator with 300-400K, right? Decent, good establishment के तरफ जा रहे हैं वो. They're making good money. But a lot, let's talk about finance niche right now. You know, if you're talking about finance, you need to have some credibility or some knowledge. होना चाहिए, like there should be a base to what you're speaking, right? It's impacting real life money, like तुम कुछ भी नहीं बोल सकते. But अभी क्या हो रहा है? Because it's so easy to create content on the internet, people are just creating content, people are just copying content, people are just ripping off the same content again and again. मतलब आपके content उठा लिया और same बना दिया, you know, अनुष्का का कुछ देखा वही बना दिया, कुछ भी same ही repeat करके बना दिया, और उस पे भी views आ जाते हैं. So they also reach 100K, 100K, 200K, and then they get the money and they're like, अब तो यही करेंगे. I think it's the worst possible thing they're doing for themselves over not even a long term, even a medium term.
Okay.
Because 2 years, 3 years later, or even right now, what's happening to a lot of people is that people have realized कि credibility नहीं है, इसको आता नहीं है, इसको कुछ नहीं है. Eyeball distinction बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, because limited set of eyeball है. ठीक है, मान लो 10 eyeballs हैं, वो 10 में से 7 चले गए top 5% के पास, और वो 3 वो बिखर गए on the smaller creators or the medium creators, right? And there's no depth in them as well. Right. So over a period of time, they're just gonna die down, because more shallow creators are gonna replace more shallow creators, and the depth creators are gonna replace the overall share of pie as well. तो long term sustain में तुम करोगे क्या? कैसे? How are you gonna do anything? कितने साल कर लोगे वही same copy करके? What do you think about this? You have noticed this? You think about it?
Typically, an influencer, their end game, from the typical definition of an influencer, their end game was to get into Bollywood only.
Correct.
Right? This education content creators is a new phenomenon, or education influencers is a new phenomenon. On YouTube, education content creators have been there for a long time, and over time, the ones who are really, really good at creating content will probably last forever, because they're so good at it. But the majority of them are not able to last forever. We've also seen examples of the absolute gods of content creators who are not able to generate the same amount of reach today, right? And there are very few examples of people who are able to sustain it for a long time. So along with creating content, it has become very important to build these other stronger establishments around their content. So that comes down to the situation of how do you own the audience, right? Because right now you do not own the audience. Even though, let's say I have 2 million followers, they are not actually my, they're not
users.
actually connect. They're actually Instagram's users. They're Instagram's audience, not mine. Instagram has just given has given a connection to me, and every day I need to earn that connection. I don't own it ever. Every day I need to own that connection. Every day I need to prove myself that I'm good enough to reach them every single day. That is what it is. That is why it is short-lived. So if you can earn that connection every single day and tell the Instagram algorithm, right, you know what, I'm worth my salt every single day, then fine. If it comes naturally to you, that's good. And that's a very high-risk game, but high-reward game as well, because that is what gives you the fame and, getting recognized in public and all of that. But that will not give you everlasting mental peace or satisfaction. Because for that, you need to go one step further. That is why connecting with them on a deeper level is important. That is the entire reason why I started my newsletter. Now I have their email ID. Now, even if, Instagram feels like I've not earned that reach today, I can still send an email to them, right? Email connection is forever. I have that email connection.
Yeah, true. And now I'll give you another question here, is that you can do that. Or let's say the people with real meat can do it.
Right.
But the creators I was talking about, they can't do this.
Right.
Because they will not be able to build a respectable audience on a newsletter or a respectable course audience or get people to buy their courses, because they are shallow at the end of the day. So they have gotten their followers via all these methods or luck or, just copying or whatever. Wo kaise anyone get 1 lakh rupees?
No, I'll tell you, I'll disagree with that a little bit. Yeah. I feel like there will be a lot of exit opportunities, even at the rock bottom for these content creators.
Okay.
Because every company, there will be new jobs created for this content game.
Right.
Every company is today hiring for a content head. They're hiring for content writers. And right now, they're hiring people who are not content creators, who are mediocre at what they do. That is why people would rather learn about finance from an individual content creator than from a company's content team.
Correct.
Because they're trying to become like content creators, but they're not there yet.
Correct.
Because if they were so good, they would themselves become a content creator themselves.
Yeah.
So let's say in your example, the majority of the content creators, they eventually, are not seeing good reach or whatever, and they die down, or they feel like it's not worth the mental stress. Let me stop. There are so many. I'm sure if they apply for a content head job, saying that, hey, you know what, I built an Instagram page worth 500k followers. I can take care of your content team as well. I can marshal them. I can create proper content strategy for you. I can take care of your entire content engine. Who would not hire? Who would not hire? I'm actually looking for those kind of people for my other business units. I would want a former content creator, but they will not come because they'll make more money by doing it by themselves. Yeah. But eventually, if they feel like they want to stop it, there is ample opportunity. And that is what I was telling you earlier. Like, even if I assume that the worst situation happens, I know that these sort of opportunities are there for me. I would still can go to a corporate job, and my skill set is going to be very important in the coming future. Obviously, going back into the typical 9-to-5 job, I mean, even this is a 9-to-5 job only, but going back to the typical career path, let's say becoming a data analyst or getting into consulting, that would be difficult because there your current experience would not mean much. But this sort of skill set is actually still limited in today's world. Knowing how to create content, knowing how to create content in such a way that you direct them to a company's landing page, right? That is still a very niche skill set, and only these content creators know it. Education content creators are very handful today. 100, 500, 1,000 also you say. Only 1,000 people in India who can do it properly. 1,000 people in entire country, lakhs of companies. Obviously, there is a demand-supply mismatch. Only thing is that enough companies have not realized that yet. But I know they will realize it soon. Every company will realize that they need a content engine. They're not giving it too much importance. They think that, okay, performance marketing is running good, so let me keep running money on that. They're not realizing that if they also have a proper content engine, their performance marketing costs can come down. They've not realized that yet. But soon they will realize, and these content creators can run that show eventually.
I'm sure you haven't.
I'll tell you, I was actually approached for a content head job when I was at 100k followers by a wealth management company. I was approached for this, being the content head.
I think
so that's when I realized, okay, I can still get a job. Like, even I was thinking...
Are you an investor in this company now?
No, I'm not invested in this company. But... I was thinking, because when I had got my admit to Columbia, I was still running consulting and content creation parallelly. Because I was of the opinion that, okay, once I go there, I need to work in consulting. So if I stop consulting for 1 year, what will I tell those employers there? That I did content creation. Who will value content creation as a job? And my mom also, told me the same thing. But then when I got this kind of a job offer, then I realized, there are other career paths also that I can explore. It's not that content creators don't know to do anything else in life. Our skill set is transmittable to their business units as well, which they have not, the market for that does not exist yet, but it's slowly starting to show.
Got it. So, what do you think is your personal unfair advantage?
My sister. I think so, really. It is because
Good answer.
yeah, when I started creating content, like I said, nobody expected me to be a content creator. Considering the life that I've had, I despised being on Instagram, on Snapchat. I used to judge people saying, why are you wasting time on Instagram and Snapchat? You're just running after girls, watching pretty girls dancing. What a waste of time. Instead of that, focus on your career. I was that person. The only reason I installed Instagram was because I went on a Europe trip and I wanted to show off wherever I've been to. I was in 4 or 5 countries. I told my sister to create an account and post it. My sister has been in the social media game for a long time, right? She knew all the the tricks. Right now, all the things that we take for granted about how to do a social media strategy, how to post, how to do the story, and all of that.
Yeah.
Things which seem like by hath ka khel for us. My sister knew all of that even before, from a long time. So I had that access to that entire skill set from day one. If the entire time I was focusing on editing, I still remember the first time I made content was not Instagram but was on YouTube. I made a YouTube video for 15 minutes. It took me 2 hours to edit it.
Yeah.
I had not told my sister about it yet. But when I finally ventured into Instagram, my sister, I told her, join me. It'll help me to get into Colombia. We didn't even talk about money that time, right? Money was not even on the table. We just said, it'll help me to go into Colombia. Please help me. So that's why she helped me, like a sister. So help me edit the videos, post stuff and all of that. So I had all my free time. So solving for time is the biggest strength that a creator can get. If you solve for his editing time gone, his posting gone, he or she is only focusing on coming up with new ideas. That's it. That's what a creator wants to do. So I had that from day one. That was my unfair advantage.
Good point. So what is next for FWS?
Next, coming out with the book. Because most people think that I'm doing some voodoo magic to get millions of views. So I thought, okay, there's no magic there.
When is it coming?
It's coming out next month.
February.
Something around February. It's called Zero to Viral. So it's basically my entire journey of content creation and also sharing all my tips and strategies on how to make something go viral. People think it's luck, it's fluke, Instagram algorithm, and there is a certain weightage given to that as well. But you can control to a certain extent, and how to control it to a certain extent is what I reveal in the book. Not just in terms of being an Instagram influencer, but also in terms of improving your personal branding. Right? Most people think that, okay, I need to only influencers need to create content. I disagree with that. I think everybody should become a content creator in some way or the other, no matter what they're doing, because personal branding has become very, very important in today's world. It's not, resumes are dead.
Yeah.
Your online presence is what is going to move the needle going forward.
Right.
So that is one thing. Apart from that, we already talked about the 1% Club, which is my mission to go one step further with my audience, create content on multiple platforms, which unconventional platforms like newsletter is something which is there, but many content creators are not able to crack it. So I want to grow that into a further level. And my newsletter is not just your simple text coming, you know it, right? There is quizzes involved, there is gamification, and all of
Link
that
in description,
stuff.
Guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of gamification in my newsletter, and it's completely free. I don't charge for that.
Yeah.
And then WhatsApp newsletter is also going to come out soon. So all these things are like, my next few things. And also YouTube is going to start long form YouTube. I've been known only as a short form content creator, but I'll also be starting, long form 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos as well. Which is, we've already shot it. It's going to be launched sometime this month itself, which is January right now.
Perfect.
So these are the things which are happening, and team is also growing phenomenally. Like I think in the last 6 months, my team grew from 4 to 15, right? And we put out 3 new job postings.
Yeah.
I think by end of this year, it will probably have 30 members,
Yeah.
30, 40 people, right? Something, and that's something that is something that I learned as well, that, building a team is a very underrated skill. In the beginning, when I hired people, I thought it's just about hiring and they'll do their work. No. Learning how to manage a big team and then building the proper systems in place, the SOPs and all of that, that is something that I'm really coming to enjoy now. And it's very beautiful to see how that entire machine works together, right? Yesterday only I was putting out on the whiteboard all the members in my team and seeing how they work and interact with each other. It was so beautiful to see that and, strategize on how. Right. So it's very fun to build teams as well and give everybody, like everybody who works in my team, I hate giving, donkey work to anybody. Like even if I don't want to do something, I will give it to someone, but I will ensure that he or she is also working on something which is interesting and they're passionate about.
Yeah.
So some people say that, okay, just give one person one task.
Correct.
Right? But I don't want to do that because although the system will be more efficient, but people will not be happy doing that. Right? So I want to give them the freedom to do whatever they want so that everybody comes to work feeling, happy and content at the end of the day.
And that's what Financial Sharan is.
That's what Financial Sharan is all about.
Cameras. All right, Sharan, this was amazing. I think we have not had a conversation like this forever, which is not about money, business, finance, what's next, or going down the memory lane and all that. Even I have not gone. Like maybe thoda apna yaad kar raha tha, nostalgic. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun.
I had a lot of fun.